واليوم راح ناخذ تجربة أخرى ولكن فيها تويست بسيط. ما أدري أقول لهم اسم التجربة ولا أخليها كذا مفاجأة؟
نحمسهم شوي.
نحمسهم شوي. حالات التجربة هذه ما راح توقفون عن كراسيكم. فأظن هذا السؤال اللي ممكن أحد يسأله. راح تكونون موجودين في الكراسي لكن أنتم راح تكونون محور هذه التجربة. تجربة باسم musical smartphones. I would like to welcome to the stage the chief of the storytellers, Sataya.
Let's wait for the technique to be finished, but I can maybe start already. So my name is indeed Stije. I'm the creative director for the Smartphone Orchestra, from which you might have experienced yesterday the social sorting experiment. I am called the chief of storytelling of Wildvreemd. This is our main company. And we are a company that tell stories, but our speciality is that we involve the spectator, the participant, the viewer, the listener deeply in our stories. So this is what our stories are about. Let me give you an example. In 2013, me and Eric, my trusted colleague here, who is always taking care of my technology, thank you, Eric, we made a haunted house. So this haunted house was on a big music festival in Holland called Lowlands, and this was an experience you did by yourself. You would go into the haunted house, but first you would get a psychological test. So we would ask you questions, and you would answer these, but secretly we would record you. And then you were led into this haunted house by yourself. And this was really this dark maze, you know, you would walk through and you couldn't see anything until at the end, you wouldn't be able to go any further. And all of a sudden, bam, this door would slam behind you. And this phone would like really loudly ring. And this light would be put on this phone and you would pick it up, like because everyone picks up a phone if it rings. And you would, like, for example, if it would be me, I would say like, hello, this is Stije. And then you would hear your own voice, which we recorded at the questionnaire at the beginning, and your own voice would speak to you and say like, that is not possible, Stije, because I am here, which was deeply confusing. Then another door would open and you would go into this room and you would see this movie of yourself looking at this movie in that room. And you would see yourself walking through these alleys, you know, with these scary eyes, because we filmed you with night vision goggles. And then the last shot, you would see yourself in the room looking at that movie, but someone else would be standing behind you. So people would really be like, and they would turn around, and I or Eric would be there with a printed out mask of the participant. So people would basically be really scared of themselves. So basically, this haunted house was not scary at all. It was really a story that the person that scares us the most in the world is mostly ourselves. So let me see if this works. Okay, I think so. I did this. So this was an example of first-person storytelling. And that's basically what we do. And that's probably why we love virtual reality so much. I assume you know what virtual reality is, because virtual reality really, like, you are there in that story. You can really be at that place. I discovered virtual reality while I was making a music video for actually my own band. And I had this 360 camera. I didn't know what virtual reality was yet. I had this 360 camera, and at a blog somewhere on the internet, I found the Oculus DK2. This was 2014. This was one of the first virtual reality headsets. And I made it work on my computer after like maybe 2 weeks or so. It was really hard then. And something really special happened because I was inside of my own music video. Instead of looking at it, I was standing in the middle of it. And that really blew my head. And that posed so many questions that I changed the whole script. Because one of the questions was like, how do we do transitions if we can cut like film? So I was really thinking about this when my costume designer walked by with a hula hoop. I assume you know what a hula hoop is, like it's the circular thing, you go like this and then, okay. And I thought like, wait a second, that can be a transition. So I took the hula hoop, put it over the camera, made it work in my computer, looked at it in my virtual reality headset, and something really special happened again. Because not only was this a transition that worked, it was changing me from one scene to the other scene, but there was someone coming at me with the hula hoop, taking me to another world. And then I completely changed the script and made it all about transitions. And let me just show you a little piece. I hope this works, probably does. That is really loud. Let me change that. Making golden memories. So that was the first one. In an ancient distant galaxy. So I could look and look again. Through my best of ever clarity. I went to get my baby, but my baby was gone. It will never stop. It will never stop. It will never stop. And please bear in mind that this is a flat capture from the music video. Obviously, you can only look at this for real with a virtual reality headset. This music video was, at that moment, maybe the most advanced music video in virtual reality. So I was really lucky because I wasn't super smart or anything. I was just really lucky at that moment. So it was nominated for a UK Music Video Award alongside Coldplay, CeeLo Green, Years and Years, really big band. And there was I with the band from Holland that no one knew. That was really cool. And that really got us a lot of work. For example, we were hired as creatives for a company called Jaunt XR. They were this huge startup backed by Disney from America. And I got the chance to really investigate who this person in virtual reality can be. In every piece I got an assignment for, I really tried to figure that out. I prepared a short movie to explain to you. Again, this is a flat render, so this is not a real thing, but just to give you an impression, because otherwise it's really hard to put headsets on all of your heads here. It's going to be a technical challenge that even Eric won't be able to solve. So here we go.
Dit is een virtual reality bril, VR. Dat klinkt futuristisch, hè? Is het ook. Maar wees niet bang, het is niet eng. Denk maar zo. Als jij je hoofd door een gat in de heg steekt, ben je dan aan de andere kant van de heg? Psst, kijk eens.
I see all you can be, yourself, without limits. You can be anything. You're almost perfect. Your heart has steadily met all benchmarks since OS 31.6. You are a fourth generation enhanced human.
Gefeliciteerd, de installatie is goed verlopen. U bent nu goedgekeurd om de tasman te bezoeken. Bent u klaar? Ontspan. Daar gaan we.
Hallo? Hallo? Kan jij ons verstaan?
Te hard.
Kan jij ons verstaan? Hallo?
Welcome to my head. I am Donald J. Trump, and I have the best brains. I've got the best synapses. You're lucky to be.
President Trump,
That's me.
a lot on your plate today, leader of the free world and all.
been waiting with great anticipation to see if there is anything left for you. Well, there is nothing left but my last wish. Please, let me go out with a bang.
So what you see and experience when you put the goggles on is that you become a DME patient.
It really helps you sympathise and empathise with the patient and the difficulties of the disease and how much of an impact it has on daily lives.
It was perfect. I feel in the situation of the patients.
You're getting the blurry spot on the eye, so you are really feeling as though you're that patient in that story, and it kind of puts you through the panic of the patient as well.
I've never seen anything like it, and I felt that it was an extremely useful way of understanding what many of the patients that I see every day actually experience.
So I really wanted to add that one because that was a really interesting job we did for a really big medicine company. And so with virtual reality, we could basically help doctors understand how it really is to have this eye deficit. So they can understand their patients better. And I think that's really why virtual reality can be, or actually stories that are first person can really help us explain things about each other. I would like to show you one more project of virtual reality we did. And this was a virtual reality opera. This was really an art project. And in this opera, it was for 60 audience members. 30 of them would get to wear a headset. But those headsets would be synchronized. And the people in the headset would play a singing game. So they would sing. But because these headsets were synchronized, they would become a choir that was singing for the other half of the audience. And then there were real singers, and at a certain point they would switch, so the other side would sing for the other side. Let me just show you how that looked.
Hi. Welcome to the inside of your own body. Look down at your feet. Yeah. Wonderful, come on. Yeah. Work on that foundation. Just try different pitches.
Kijk naar je voeten en dan keek je naar beneden en dan zag je allemaal van die gekleurde kringen eromheen. Ja, dat was echt heel gaaf.
Die bril was het bijna het heelal met allemaal sterren en cirkels wat dus bewoog. En als je dus je stem liet horen, dan werden die cirkels en die figuren werden dus daardoor versterkt.
So I really loved showing you that one. So I was investigating first-person storytelling. I was investigating who this person in a virtual reality experience can be. But I started, by doing this so much, I started to realize that something was lacking as well, or seeing the weaker spots of it. And what I thought was a weaker spot was that you can never feel so much empathy for that character you're playing yourself as you can for a character you can see in a movie. You see the struggles of a character and you feel for them, you empathize. So thinking about this gave me, I thought, a really good idea, which was, why not, if I make you, the player of the experience, the imaginary friend of a little kid that made you up. So this kid should be very imaginative and maybe have an anxiety disorder. He's afraid of a lot of things, and you are the one helping him to get over these anxieties. But do you really help him now that because you are there, everyone else thinks he's crazy? I just heard that we secured funding for this project, so I'm really going to make it. I already did a lot of tests, and when I was asked to do this talk, it is about the creative industry. So I thought, like, let me give you a glimpse in sort of like the technologies and like the techniques we're using to make this work. So one of the first things is that his fantasies will be children's drawings that come to life in 3D. But you see, the rest of the room is real. So there's the reality, that's the real room, but his fantasies are all drawn. A little bit like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but then 30 years later. Here you can see a spider that comes to life in his room. And you can also see the boy already, and you kind of see his body. Keep in mind, this is also taken from someone with a headset on. So this is, you know, when you are in VR, there's actually a cartoon spider walking around your feet, which is going to be pretty cool. But maybe the coolest thing is that I'm filming this kid with volumetric video. And a volumetric video is like a technique. It's basically 3D video. So we could film every one of you in this studio, and then you are 3D. So at the left of the screen, you can see the kid trying to fight with monsters. In this green screen studio, there's like 32 cameras pointing inwards, leading to a kid that in the computer, the camera can turn all the way around him, like even underneath that we didn't film. And I think this is really, really, really going to be big, because now we can put real humans with all their expressions and emotions into game engines. Game engines are the things that games are built with. But a real human has so much more expression in his face than a game character that is made with 3D. So we're also like exploring new technologies. Like, for example, this kid can really look at you when you are in VR. Let me show you. Here, this is me in our own studio. And wherever I look, this kid is looking at me, which really makes me feel acknowledged by this kid. I'm really there. He's seeing me while I'm actually in a fantasy. That's the truth about it, you know? Like, I'm the real thing, he's the fantasy, which I think is really, really funny. I tested this on an audience. I tested, like, how much do you feel connected with this character? And it scored really high. It said stuff like, I could sense his vulnerability and connect to that. At the same time, he felt strong, open, and confident. I had the feeling that he wanted to trust me and connect. That made me feel special. So I think this is like such a super new thing that we're exploring, and I'm so super excited about. But we've come to the end of the talk, not of the whole experience that we're going to do here, because since we are a company that involves the listener, participant, player, we would like to involve you too. So we're going to do a Smartphone Orchestra performance. Would you mind, maybe the people in the back, like coming to the front so we all sit closer together? Is that okay? Yeah? Please do that. If you're like a little bit in the back, come sit as close to me to the stage as you can. Oh, thank you for that. And then please take out your phone. Thanks. And follow the instructions on the screen. So you take your phone, you go to smartmap.io, which I hope you can do with Arabic. This is possible, right? This is not a problem that yes, this is good? Okay. Make sure you turn up your phone, like take it from mute, make sure it makes a sound, and make sure the volume is all the way up. And I'm just going to wait for Eric to give me a signal for how many people are logged in. $50 already. All right. You're totally right. Eric, we should make a barcode for tomorrow. And I need to get out of this because of switching. I just need to switch a little bit because I have to put something on this computer, but I'll bring it back. Yeah. So if you have a green screen, can I see it? All right. So is there anyone still having problems? I think this is going to work. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's super special that we are together like this. If you think about it, it's never before, you can pick that up, it could be important. Never before in the history of mankind have we been together with this exact group before. So let's celebrate that. Please be silent, make sure your phone is all the way up, and then dim the lights. Here we go. Oh, and maybe keep your phone up a little bit. Yeah. The phone will give you messages. Thank you, Ithra. Thank you, Saudi Arabia. It's wonderful being together with you. Thank you very much. One last thing I would like to tell you. After the break, we will do the social sorting experiment, which is a full-on show, which will involve you completely. So if you didn't do it already, please stay and join the fun. Thank you so much.